Right now at 5, new information on mortgage rates and how they could affect the local housing market.
And we're dry for the time being, but more shower and thunderstorm chances on the way. Well, look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce hosts a veteran entrepreneurs workshop for vets.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Wednesday, September the 10th. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Halfway through this week.
Yes.
I don't know. Yesterday, it was too much that it was only Tuesday.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a long couple of days.
Hopefully it's more relaxing.
Yeah, I think so.
It should decline to the weekend.
Hopefully so. And it's probably just me. I'm probably the only one who's like, man, it's only Tuesday, because I was beside myself. But happy Wednesday. Now halfway through this work week for everybody, and we're getting ready to go on the downhill side of this week. Our temperatures are going to start climbing. They're going to do the opposite. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's get your day started with a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. And there it is, through the magic of television. And in all honesty, the magic of our friends in the back. They press the button. They use their magic. They use their spells, and they press the button, and then there it is. And that's a nice view of downtown Pittsburgh so far. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range line. Looks good as well. Eerily deserted out there for this morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker, I'm only showing because right now there's nothing here. It's all of this out to our west that eventually... And here's the expectation. I want to go over this because we had expectations yesterday. It didn't really pan out. But the expectation is this stuff will start to kind of break apart, but it will then re-trigger new development as it approaches the I-35 corridor toward Wichita that will eventually move into our area as we head into the afternoon hours. And so by about 1 o'clock or so, scattered showers and thunderstorms start pushing in initially to Greenwood, Elk, Chautauqua counties. By 4, you can see we're about halfway through southeast Kansas, and it will persist a little longer through the evening hours. But as we get later into the evening, we'll start to see these shower and thunderstorms become more isolated, and they should be done by about 2 o'clock tomorrow morning at the latest. Now, I know it looked like a lot of rain, but I'll tell you too, the nature of these storms, I think the entire area has a chance for rain. Will the entire area see rain? Probably not, but it could be just about anywhere. Nothing severe expected either, so that's some good news. We're at 64, Joplin, 59 in Pittsburgh, and across the region, temperatures are looking like this. It's kind of like yesterday again. If you go a little further south, look at this. It's a little cooler, upper 50s for parts of northeast Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas down here. And then you head a little further north, and it's a bit warmer in some places as we're in the low to mid 60s to get this day started. So kids getting on the bus, we're looking at, again, initially partly cloudy skies. Clouds will begin to increase thanks to the rain out to our west right now. Mostly cloudy by lunch and recess time. We're going to go upper 70s, and we're into the mid 80s by the time they head home. We'll start seeing those scattered storms pushing into the area. Mid 60s by 9, upper 70s by noon. Like I said, it's warmer today. You're certainly going to notice it, but average high is 85. So we're only looking to be a couple of degrees above average out there for most of us. And we'll have those scattered storm chances as we head through the afternoon, evening, and into the early overnight hours as well. After today, though, these temperatures continue to climb. I'll tell you how hot it's going to get and how the weekend's looking so far here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. So currently mortgage rates are on a slight decrease over the country, but what does this mean for those looking for a new home? With the economy in continual flux, it bears the question, is now the right time to buy a home? The Federal Reserve is set to meet in mid-September about interest rates. The current rate is 4.25%. Mortgage rates are not directly influenced by the federal interest rate. Instead, they're affected by the 10-year Treasury yield. Harvest Bank says mortgages change ahead of the federal rate.
We like to say that mortgage rates kind of lead the pack. So we've actually already seen mortgage rates trend down a little bit over the past few weeks. And when the feds meet next Wednesday, those rates that's your prime rate that they're looking to lower. And prime is tied to more short-term money.
And like Sweet says, mortgage rates are already dropping before the Fed meets next week. And the solar tax credit that can save you thousands with installing a new solar system is going away at the end of the year. While it can save on your power bill if you can afford the hefty investment, a system usually costs about $30,000, but the tax credit could knock it down to $20,000. Now here's the deal though, no leasing, you must buy. Check with your city and HOA to see if they have any specific requirements, and make sure the mounting system is compatible with your roof. Like the solar tax credit, the energy efficient home improvement credit also expires on December 31st. The Missouri House passes a bill to redraw congressional districts, sending the measure to the Senate for debate. Supporters say the Republican-led effort is meant to ensure Missouri's voice in Washington reflects the state's conservative majority. Now, if passed, the bill would divide Missouri's 5th congressional district into 3 seats, each already represented by Republicans.
I think that it would be better if we had more Republicans in Washington, D.C., and if Mike Johnson was Speaker of the House versus Hakeem Jeffries or Nancy Pelosi. And I think the vast majority of Missourians, it's clear, would prefer a House with Republican leadership when you consider the fact that Republicans have every statewide office in Missouri, over 90% of the county offices. The state legislature has a supermajority virtually of Republicans. And so I think those are Missouri values, and that's what Missourians generally would like to see represented in Congress.
The bill now heads to the Senate for debate. If passed, it would move to the governor's desk for final approval. The Heartland Patriots Festival and Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce hold a Veterans Entrepreneurs Workshop at Crowder College's Advanced Training Technology Center. KOAM's Kenny Foreman was there to find out more.
Doug Hunt is one of several looking to help small business grow.
What I hope for small businesses and new startups is that the success rate grows so that the number of businesses that fail in the first 3 years, that number goes way down. And we're working very hard to make that happen here at the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce.
He's the Director of Entrepreneurship with the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce. He's encouraged a group of about 12 veterans to start their own businesses.
One of the things that we have talked about at the conference is showing veterans how they can get their business up and running as a startup, and going into the details like a business plan, how to write an executive summary, P&L, all of those things that they would need and to be fluent in to start their business.
Several of the event organizers are veterans themselves, in addition to their experience in small business. This includes Ted Donaldson, Development Director of Heartland Canines for Veterans, who hopes that those who came out today are more aware of local resources that can help them start their own business.
If we can remove some of the unknowns, if we can help them overcome some whatever fear there may be about starting a business and recognize what's involved risk-wise, what resources are available in the community for them, then it may make it easier for them to do this and start a business.
Donaldson helped put the event together with the Heartland Patriot Festival, which celebrates veterans in the Midwest.
We know existing business owners that are veterans, and they support this kind of activity. We work through the Heartland Patriots Festival, we work with a bunch of different local businesses who came on board as sponsors to help us do all the different activities that we're doing this week.
Also on hand was Christian Thadani of the U.S. Small Business Administration. Also a former veteran, he prides himself in giving back.
As a veteran, I'm aware that some of my fellow veterans experience issues as we continue into civilian life, and helping my fellow veterans bridge some of these issues, these gaps, is important to me.
He also knows the skills they will learn will be invaluable, regardless of their future in business.
I'm most happy to see people connecting with other people. Whether or not we go forward on their entrepreneurial journey, just the time we get to spend together and connect with each other is most important.
In Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
This is the first year for the event, but according to Donaldson, it won't be the last. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Israel defends its attack on Hamas leaders in Doha, while President Trump calls Israel's bombing attack in Doha, quote, not a good situation. Plus, Nepal's prime minister resigns as deadly youth protests rock the country. And we have a warm and cloudy conditions today. Chris has another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:09. We'll be right back. Well, topping World Watch, Nepal's prime minister has resigned amid the country's worst youth-led protests in decades, sparked by a ban on social media, allegations of widespread corruption, and lack of economic opportunity. Well, at least 22 people have been killed and hundreds injured as security forces used live ammunition, water cannons, and tear gas on demonstrators, mostly teens and young adults, demanding change. With the government in turmoil, Parliament is expected to form an interim leadership while international organizations call for an independent investigation into the deadly crackdown. Well, this morning, the U.S. is caught between two allies after Israel launched a strike on Hamas leaders in Qatar yesterday. President Trump says he's unhappy about the way the attack occurred, while also calling it an unfortunate incident could serve as an opportunity for peace. Now, Israel says the strike targeted Hamas officials that were responsible for the October 7th attacks. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
Well, I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it.
President Donald Trump says Israel's bombing attack targeting Hamas leadership in Doha yesterday is not a good situation.
We got to get the hostages back. But I was very unhappy about the way that went down.
Last night, the president told reporters Israel did not notify him in advance of the strike. On social media, he said it was too late to stop the attack after the U.S. military notified him, and that he directed his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, to inform leaders in Qatar immediately. President Trump also said he spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after the attack, as well as Qatari leaders, adding that he assured them such a thing will not happen again on their soil. Qatar has condemned the attack, calling it barbaric, though leaders there say they will continue mediating peace talks.
We take full responsibility for this action.
Netanyahu defended the operation, which he says targeted Hamas leaders that planned, launched, and celebrated the October 7th attacks on his country. Israel Defense Forces also tell CBS News the targets have been orchestrating and managing the war against the state of Israel.
This action can open the door to an end of the war.
Overnight explosions lit up the sky in Gaza hours after Israel's military dropped leaflets warning people to evacuate Gaza City, the move signaling plans for a new military offensive. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The United Nations Secretary General condemned the airstrike, saying, quote, all parties must work toward achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it. And still to come, from Saturday Night Live host to Emmy Awards MC, comedian Nate Bargatze adds another major milestone. Plus, warm and cloudy conditions. Chris has a look at today's forecast. Well, it's a star-studded lineup of presenters at this year's Emmy Awards, and Lady Gaga is extending her North American Mayhem tour. Nick Zajovic has your Eye on Entertainment report.
Leonardo DiCaprio hit the red carpet in Hollywood for the premiere of One Battle After Another, the politically charged action thriller.
I'll be seeing you very soon.
Not if I see you first.
DiCaprio says the film dives into the ideas that drive people.
When you see the movie, you'll see these complex characters that are live on such polar opposite spheres, but ultimately think that their choice is the right one.
One Battle After Another will be in theaters nationwide September 26th. Sydney Sweeney, Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, and The Late Show host Stephen Colbert are on the star-studded lineup of presenters at this year's Emmy Awards. Comedian Nate Bargatze is hosting the show live from the Peacock Theater in downtown Los Angeles. The 77th Emmy Awards air this Sunday, September 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS, or streaming on Paramount+. And after massive fan demand, Lady Gaga's turning up the volume on her sold-out Mayhem Ball tour, announcing she's adding a second North American leg, kicking off Valentine's Day in Glendale, Arizona. The new run includes stops in Atlanta, Austin, Washington, D.C., and Boston, plus 2 more encore nights in L.A. and New York. Pre-sales for the new shows begin today. General sales begin next week. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Nick Zajovic, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And of course, Nate Bargatze is gearing up to host the Emmy Awards. The 46-year-old Tennessee native became the highest grossing stand-up comedian in the country last year and has hosted Saturday Night Live twice.
I'm sure we'll have jokes about shows and all that, or we will do that, but it's like to do it in a way that's not mean or something like that, mean-spirited. It'll be fun to get in there, get on stage, get that first joke, hear that first laugh.
The 77th Emmy Awards will air live Sunday at 7 p.m. right here on KOAM. And now let's take it over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Again, right now this morning we are dry. We'll be dry for the first half of our day ahead of increasing scattered shower and storm chances a little later today. We'll go over those details with you and tell you how hot it's going to get when we come back. Time now 5:20. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 522 on this Wednesday morning. Again, Skywatch Storm Tracker for now, and honestly, through about noon, 1 o'clock, not much expected out there, but this is what will eventually turn into some scattered shower and thunderstorm chances for us as we proceed, or get closer rather, to the noon hours. So we have this complex. It was severe initially. It was another round of severe weather out in southwestern Kansas, panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. It is pushing east-southeast. You can see thunderstorm activity on it is pushing southeast, as some of the showers up here on the north side are moving a little bit more easterly. Now this is expected to continue to kind of die down, and as it does so, you can see that thunderstorm development that's trying to recycle ahead of it. It should trigger additional storm development west of Wichita that will eventually begin to work into our area again about 1 o'clock. So an isolated shower to ahead of that is possible as it gets closer. But it'll be after 1, and we start getting some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Now, we're not expecting any severe weather, and I know right now, Future Track, what we've done, you see how there's this light green overlapping that? We're combining two different computer models, and you can see the big difference, because these little greens here and here and here are one computer's thinking of just very isolated showers. The other one thinks maybe more scattered storms. And right now, at least after yesterday and how the computers had no idea exactly how those storms yesterday morning were going to play out, they kept trying to catch up, but they just didn't. We're going to go with that opportunity, that version, that possibility of a few additional scattered storms. And you can see even on the other one, there's still not a lot. But there are scattered storms. By 5 o'clock, southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma starting to push into southwestern Missouri. Now, as we head later into the evening, they do become considerably more isolated. Both computers do agree on that they'll become much more isolated late this evening, but they could persist possibly through about 2 a.m. Now, that's where it also is a part that I don't agree with. It shows these showers you can see hanging out through 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is unlikely. In fact, you can kind of make out part of that where we've got clouds here, but not down here where this rain is. So I do think that about 2 o'clock in the morning, we should be done with showers. They'll be gone out of here. We will start mostly cloudy for Thursday, but skies will begin to gradually clear as we head into the afternoon and evening. And as we head into Friday, really not much to talk about other than the fact it's going to continue to heat up, and we'll have those partly cloudy skies as we roll through Friday afternoon. Get our day started. Again, partly cloudy to start. Clouds will increase through the morning because that big batch of rain has got a fair amount of cloud cover with it and leading it. So we'll start to go mostly cloudy by mid-morning out there. Low 60s to start, low 70s by 11. Now again, today we are warmer, but we're seasonably so. We're only going to be a degree or two above average, and that's going to be nice compared to what I'm going to show you on the extended forecast. We're going to go mid-upper 80s today, and again, some scattered storm chances. As I mentioned earlier, I think the entire area has an opportunity for rain, but I don't think the entire area will necessarily see that rain. We could get it just about anywhere, but it will be scattered, so not everyone will get rain today. As we head into the evening, again, scattered storms for some of us continue. They'll become more isolated late this evening, and eventually overnight they clear out. We're partly cloudy, back into the upper 60s, maybe a couple of low 70s. And this is what I'm talking about. Take a look at these. I don't know what these are. I know they're 90s, but they are not supposed to be here because this is closer to our average high than any of this is. We're going to start going 5 to 10 degrees above normal as we head into this upcoming weekend. And the hot weather will persist into next week with maybe a stray shower or storm by next Thursday. That's checking your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again Commission releases recommendations to improve the health of children. Called Make Our Children Healthy Again, the 20-page report outlines 128 directives and strategies. To meet its goals, the commission plans to launch new studies as well as improve collaboration between health agencies. Specific targets include improving air and water quality, limiting microplastics, removing chemical additives from food, and increasing breastfeeding rates. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. chairs the commission.
A lot of these 128 recommendations are things that I've been dreaming about my whole life. I've been working for in congressional campaigns and presidential campaigns for other candidates. And they get into office and they say, well, we just can't do it.
Now, Kennedy says some of these ideas also came from discussions with farmers, teachers, and doctors. The report also focuses on harm from vaccines, radiation, and fluoride ideas medical experts have labeled as conspiracy theories. More clues in the effort to better understand long COVID. Research published in JAMA found that people experiencing food insecurity are 78% more likely to be diagnosed with long COVID and 34% less likely to recover from it. The study also found that support from food assistance programs like SNAP reduced COVID risks of long COVID. And a warning about the dangers of RSV infections for infants. A study in Sweden found that even healthy full-term babies are at a high risk of hospitalization if they're infected with RSV, especially during the first 3 months of life. Researchers stress there are preventative treatments for newborns, and pregnant women can receive the RSV vaccine. And the keto diet may have benefits for your mental health. Research from Ohio State University looked at college students and found after 10 weeks of following the ketogenic diet, participants had a 70% decrease in depression symptoms. The students also lost weight and performed better on cognitive tasks. The keto diet focuses on reducing carbs with a higher fat and moderate protein intake. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, after 50 years of rescuing animals, a Pittsburgh shelter now needs rescuing itself.
And we've got an opportunity for some scattered showers and thunderstorms heading into the afternoon. Details coming up.
Plus, public input for naming bike trails.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday, September the 10th, halfway through this week. And not a bad start to the week. Had some showers and storms yesterday, and they did last a little longer, too. Yesterday's showers and storms just did not do anything that was expected. Thankfully, they weren't severe or anything. They just did their own thing. But that's Mother Nature, okay?
Yeah,
computers, technology, it gets better. But sometimes it is still just a guessing game because Mother Nature will say, look, I feel like doing this today, and that's what happened.
Exactly
and that's,
that.
what happens sometimes. And thankfully, we have, I think, a better understanding of what we're expecting this afternoon. We'll start, though, with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh. And there it is. It's a nice look from downtown Pittsburgh. We will begin to get mostly cloudy pretty quickly this morning. I'll tell you why here in just a moment. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good as well. So here's why. What we've got is nothing in our area right now, but we have this complex of dying showers and storms out into Kansas. But take a look at the leading edge where new thunderstorms are developing out there. Now that's moving away from us. It's actually heading closer to El Reno and the Oklahoma City metro. But all of this has generated a fair amount of cloud cover that's reaching over Wichita and is starting to slide into the western portions of our area. So we've got partly cloudy skies further east, but we're starting to see those mostly cloudy skies. And this will eventually be what triggers or resets kind of this afternoon the opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. They'll start in our western counties, say about 1 o'clock or so. They'll be scattered in nature, so not everyone necessarily will see rain today, and we're not expecting severe weather today either, but we'll get these scattered storms as they'll continue through the evening, and as we go later into the evening, they'll become much more isolated, and they should be just about done with this about 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're at 64 in Joplin right now, 59 in Pittsburgh, and a mix of temperatures. We got upper 50s and low to mid 60s across the region, getting this day underway, and these temperatures as well are going to start to climb starting tonight because our daytime temperatures start to climb starting tomorrow. We're looking at going into the low 60s when kids head out the door and onto the bus, and we'll be partly cloudy. Then by lunch recess, we're mostly cloudy. Should still be dry for just about all of us. Upper 70s, mid 80s when the bus brings them home, and those scattered storms progressively beginning to work into our area. Mid 60s by 9, upper 70s by noon. Our highs today, average is 85, so we're only looking to be a degree or two above normal today for our afternoon highs. We'll be back near 80 by 6 o'clock. South breeze degrees 5 to 10. We'll talk more about our storm chances today, kind of break down that timeline for you on what we're looking at, and we'll tell you just how hot it's going to get here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, after half a century of rescuing lost animals, a Southeast Kansas animal shelter says it's now the one looking to be rescued. The SEK Humane Society in Pittsburgh says it needs an average income of $30,000 a month to continue to stay afloat. If the shelter is unable to resolve the financial crisis, its doors will close for good by the end of the year. The program's director warns shutting the shelter down would go far beyond kennels. It could affect the safety of the entire community.
They don't want to hand over to a shelter that is a kill facility and they're going to let that dog run rampant, then you have cross-contamination with the public and a loose animal, right? That animal becomes less socialized, or the opposite, where if that animal, let's say that it's sick, it has ringworm and such, and it's been raised with kids, there's a school a few blocks away, can hear the kids, is going to go for the kids because they know that sound, right?
Now, the SEK Humane Society currently stands at full capacity and cannot take any more rescues at this time. Last night, the shelter spoke with Pittsburgh City Commissioners about their pending issues. Well, Joplin officials want your help in naming some new trails at the city's bike park at Dora. City officials are inviting the public to name the trails at the Momentum Bike Park located within the Dover Outdoor Recreation Area. Now, when the park opens, it will be the largest municipal facility of its kind in Missouri. It will feature more than 132,000 square feet of formal bike park elements alongside 10 miles of purpose-built mountain bike trails. Now, if you are interested in submitting names for any of the trails, we provided a link to the survey on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. The survey does close next Wednesday on the 17th. Well, as we get closer to fall, the very dry summer is already changing the color of the leaves on some trees. Nick Kelly reports on what the weather will do the rest of fall color season.
Passing clouds on this Tuesday kept temperatures cooler than normal once again, still hinting at this coming fall. Something Kelly McGowan at the MU Extension is excited for.
Everyone's looking forward to fall. It's been a long, hot summer, and we're looking forward to cooler temperatures.
In some parts of Springfield, other signs of fall are showing up. Some trees changing color from their vibrant greens. McGowan says that usually happens when chlorophyll production, responsible for food for the trees and the green colors, shuts down. However, a color change this early is a sign of tree stress from our dry August and September so far, even after a wet June and July.
Whenever we have a period of really dry weather around the time of leaf change or in the weeks leading up to it, it can certainly affect some of our fall color. And I think that's why we're seeing it arriving a little bit earlier than usual.
While the weather will influence the actual colors themselves, this will influence when the fall colors peak this season. According to ExploreFall.com, our average peak for fall colors is late October. While we'll have some light to moderate change through September and early October, leaf colors will start peaking around October 17th and past peak before Halloween. So while the colors may start changing early, McGowan says you'll still see plenty of vibrant colors.
Oranges, reds, even some purplish type colors. I mean, we're going to have the whole spectrum of colors.
Also, McGowan says that while you can catch the colors anywhere and any time, photographers will want to focus on 2 times of day.
With some of these nature type photographies, you know, early in the morning, later in the day is when the best color will show up via photo.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Supreme Court will decide how far presidential power extends on trade. Plus, the government admits it overcounted jobs by more than 900,000. We'll have the latest. The time now, 5:38. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, in Consumer Watch, the Supreme Court says it will take up the case to decide if the Trump administration can impose sweeping retaliatory tariffs on trading partners. The justices will review lower court decisions that found that President Trump did not have the authority to levy tariffs under the Federal Emergency Powers Law. The Trump administration has argued that not imposing tariffs would put the U.S. at a trade disadvantage. Arguments are set for November. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has revised its previous job numbers, now saying that 911,000 fewer jobs were added in the 12-month period that ended in March of this year. Now, that's more than 800,000 economists had predicted. The revision comes days after a weaker than expected August jobs report and signals that the labor market may have begun cooling sooner than previously thought. And Apple has revealed its new iPhone 17 and other smart gadgets. The iPhone 17 has a larger, brighter screen, a powerful new chip to process AI features, and an upgraded camera. The company also unveiled its new AirPods that allow language translation in real time, and the Apple Watch 11 that includes new health components, such as the ability to alert users of hypertension symptoms. Apple also unveiled its thinnest and lightest smartphone to date, the Apple Air. Its prices start at $999. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good this morning across the region. A quick live look from the KDOT camera. 69 East 528th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh, as folks out there on the highway getting their day started. We do have shower and thunderstorm chances gradually increasing this afternoon. We'll talk about that and the heat wave we're about to go through when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:42. We'll be right back.
Well, it seems people really love their yogurt these days. Details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. Global food company Danone is announcing a major investment in an Ohio yogurt plant. The French-owned U.S.-based subsidiary is planning a 48,000 square foot expansion at its plant in Minster, Ohio. It will include a cutting-edge production line along with modernizing existing lines. That will also mean it needs to acquire 60% more milk over the next couple of years to make product. Now, it's known for producing brands such as Oikos, Activia, Dannon, and Danimals. China imported a record amount of soybeans last month, Beijing purchasing 12.28 million metric tons in August. Most of the soybeans expected to be from Brazil. Now, one analyst said the number was higher, partially due to a lack of progress in U.S.-China trade talks. China, the world's biggest soybean buyer, has yet to book any U.S. soybeans that are about to be harvested. And a popular event is back for another year. Fat Bear Week is scheduled to take place from Tuesday, September 23rd through the 30th. The National Park Service says it will kick off the annual event with a Chubby Cubby appetizer, Fat Bear Jr., next Thursday. Now, it's held at Katamari National Park and Preserve in Alaska. The people can vote for the bear they believe best exemplifies fatness and success in brown bears. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Here's Chris now with a full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got an opportunity for some scattered showers and storms later today. Nothing on the Skywatch Storm Tracker now. We have this dying complex of showers and storms. It's triggered new storms into Oklahoma, and they are diving south-southeast, so toward I-40. They won't impact us, but as it dies out, it is expected to help kind of set the stage for new development right around or immediately west of Wichita as we head later this morning, and eventually that will move into our area by about noon, 1 o'clock today with scattered showers and storms. So by 3, they're into parts of southeast Kansas, where Yates Center, Fredonia, Independence, Coffeyville, Parsons, Chanute, probably just right on the edge out there. And as we head later into the evening, that drive home, we've got some scattered shower storms for southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, starting to push into southwest Missouri. And it's not rain everywhere all at once, and because they'll be scattered, not everyone will see rain today, but at least some of us have another chance. We're looking at more isolated activity late this evening, and anything that's still out there, which again, it will be in a dying state, should be done by 2 o'clock, let's say tomorrow morning at the latest out there. I know Future Track still showing some showers at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, but I do not think that is likely. We will, though, however, start our Thursday mostly cloudy with skies clearing into the afternoon. And temperatures really starting to heat up. We warm up a bit today. We're going to start heating up as we go through tomorrow and into this upcoming weekend. Friday, much of the same, partly cloudy skies out there, southwest winds, and temperatures continuing to climb. And how hot is it going to get? We get the answer here in just a second. All right, partly cloudy again to start. So what we've got is the dying batch of storms out there to our west has a pretty big cloud shield with it, which is just starting to edge into our far western counties. So again, most of us will be partly cloudy, but it won't take long for those clouds clouds to increase through the morning. We'll be low 60s to start, low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, and then those of us have with those opportunities for some scattered showers and storms out there. Average high is 85, so we're only going 2, maybe 3 degrees above average, which is not going to be that bad compared to how hot it's going to get into this upcoming weekend. Through the evening, again, some scattered storms out there. They'll start becoming more isolated later, then wrapping up overnight, and we'll go partly cloudy tonight, back into the upper 60s, maybe even some low 70s overnight tonight. And as we go into tomorrow, upper 80s, low 90s, those temperatures will continue to climb as we head into this upcoming weekend. We start going low to mid 90s, so we're talking anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees above average, with that heat sticking around into the start of next week. That is a check of your forecast. This is Elise with our morning sports.
All right, thanks. Well, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are coming off their 4th straight winning season. As Pittsburgh eyes a 5th straight winning year, they will rely on a lot of new faces to step up. The Purple Dragons graduated 23 seniors from the 2024 team as they look to fill holes across the field. This squad has embraced competition, but with new guys getting their feet wet and starting roles, one group is leading the way. The Pittsburgh defensive line is a key strength in 2025, with 3 experienced returners taking on captain duties.
We're a gaps on defense, so that basically means we just hold our gaps and we just, we're always on each other to be hands-on and to be really fierce and competitive against each other. We got Garrett Dillingham, who's a really good DN for us. Cole, he played a lot of good games. He's really good. Of course, we got Parker Pinamani. He's the best defensive tackle we've had in a lot of last years.
Cole Hayden, dog. Like his brother used to play here. His little brother plays here. It's just a lot going on. He's really good. Parker Pinamani, that's a guy that he goes hard every day at practice. Like there's times coach has to move him out of the play just because of how hard he's going, and he's just a dog. JC Patterson, he does everything he needs to do in the weight room, the classroom. He's just a dog. Offensive line too.
Now, Pittsburgh faces a tough test to open the season, playing their first 3 games on the road. And while that may be daunting to some teams, the Dragons are embracing any opportunity to play, whether it's at home, in front of their fans, at Hitch Field, or on the road.
We play better on the road anyway since my time being here, but we preach all the time, we'll play anywhere. We'll play in a cow pasture. We'll play on a gravel road. We'll play on asphalt. We'll play out here on the practice field. We'll play in the Chief Stadium. It doesn't matter where we play. We're going to give it our best effort, and hopefully the results turn in our favor.
I love it. To go into somebody else's house and then to go, take that away from them and having, as we call the purple haze, circling around them and just have that energy just piling up over throughout the week. And then when it comes Friday, we're just there mentally just to outwork them.
After taking down Emporia to open the season last week, the Dragons battle Shawnee Mission South on Friday.
Really, I think week 1 went as good as it could. I think the week of preparation that we had, along with the way that our kids played, we ask them to do a lot of things, and we ask them to do a lot of hard things that other kids don't want to do. And the fact that they have bought into that, they went out Friday night and played as good as Carl Junction football as I've seen in the 3 years that I've been back. And I was excited for them. I really believe that if we can continue to prepare and do things right, that things will go well for us.
The Carl Junction Bulldogs will be the first to tell you that the results on the field are a reflection of 2 major things. One, the players have worked hard all off season to get better on the field and in the weight room, with an emphasis on strengthening and conditioning. Plus, this team has much more experience than last year, with plenty of juniors and seniors to lead the way. Well, for the 2nd straight week, Missouri Southern football player earns MIAA weekly honors. Lions freshman quarterback Tillman Martin is named MIAA Offensive Player of the Week for his performance against SVU. Martin threw for 446 yards and 4 touchdowns, adding a touchdown on the ground as well. And the best stat of the day was the win. Martin is now 2-0 in his collegiate career, the Lions' first 2-0 start since 2013. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, it's not every day a beer brewed in a conflict zone makes its way into pint glasses thousands of miles away, but that's exactly what happened with a Palestinian craft beer from the West Bank. Taiba Brewing Company is run by a Christian family in a mostly Muslim region where alcohol is frowned upon. So the makers teamed up with a Scottish brewery to get their beer on shelves in the UK. All profits are being donated to Palestinian charities and Gaza relief efforts. Well, most cities have one, an old water tower standing tall, holding a piece of local history. A small town in Australia has given its 100-year-old tower a complete makeover, turning the concrete shell into a quirky bookstore. The book tower has become a cozy spot for readers looking for something a little different.
Now that is certainly something different. I mean, talk about a unique library setting, getting to go into that tower, that water tower. Think how big that looks, all the books and how cool that would look. Certainly something fascinating. Maybe somebody around here can build something like that. And at least in the first half of our day, you could get started on that build if you wanted. We'll be partly cloudy initially, but thanks to some decaying storms out west, we'll have cloud cover increasing this morning. Low 60s to start the day, low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, highs today, our average is 85, so we're only looking to be maybe 2 to 3 degrees above normal. And after 1, we'll start to see from west to east scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. So not everybody will see rain today, but at least some of us will get some kind of activity. Scattered showers, thunderstorms continuing through the evening, wrapping up into the early overnight hours, leaving us partly cloudy tonight. Upper 60s, maybe a couple of low 70s out there. And as we head into the weekend, I don't know. This is not pleasant. I didn't do it. I don't control it. I'm just telling you about it. Tomorrow, upper 80s, low 90s. We're going to start going anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees above normal heading into this weekend. We got that high pressure building in, and it's just going to bring in all this warm air, low to mid 90s through the weekend. So, I mean, I guess if you had a project you didn't get done earlier, this is a good weekend to do it. Just stay hydrated because it's certainly going to be hotter than where we have been, and that'll continue into the start of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We are back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.